Hey there, this is Akshit Madan and welcome back to a new video. And in this video, we will be seeing the day 20 of 30 days, 30 concepts of Flutter series. And in the last part, that is in day 19, we had created one UI. So in this video also, we are going to create a simple UI only. And this is this Instagram profile page looking UI. So you can see that in this page, we can see that on the top app bar, we have a icon, then we have a username, then we have a simple container. So we are going to divide the UI into different parts, right? So every time you get a UI and you have to design that UI, you have to divide that UI into different parts. So first you can see there is an app bar. Second, you can see that there is a container in which we have a row, and in this row we have to divide again in this we have to again divide this row into two parts. So in the first part, we are having a column in which we have a circle avatar image of profile image, then a simple text for username, and the third text is a simple bio. Then in this container, you can see that we are having a column of rows. And the first row, we are having three columns, and each column is containing the number and the text. And the second row is containing two buttons. First one is the follow button, and second one is the drop down button. Perfect. So you can see that each and every UI in Flutter or any other framework, it's just a collection of different widgets, right? So you can see that this container is a collection of rows and columns. Again, this container is again here, and we can consider this container as a list view. So in this list view, we are having highlights. So these are called highlights, right? So they are nothing but simple circles, and they are having some images on them. And for each circle avatar, we are having a title or simple text. Then we have this email, site, and phone. It's totally up to you how you want to design or which UI you are cloning. It's totally up to you. Then we are having four buttons. Actually, these are the tab buttons, but we will just create their UI. We will not go into depth of tab view because I have already taught you the tab view. You can create it by your own. Then we are having a simple grid view. So this grid view also we can, it's totally up to you how many elements we want to keep in this grid view, right? Now, without wasting more time, let's wrap this video fastly. Okay, so I'm on my VS Code, and in the widgets folder, I'm going to create a file called day20.dart, right? And in this, I'm going to first of all import my material.dart, and then I'll create a stateless widget only because we are not going to change the state during this video of this class. And let's call it day 20, and let's call it day 20. Perfect. Let's return a scaffold. Let's return an app bar, and then we will work on the body. So actually this UI is much simpler than the previous UI, that day 19 UI, right? So in this you just have to, so in this video we are just going to cover that how a simple widget is a collection of different widgets. I'm going to, my main focus is to teach you that thing, right? So for now, let's create a container with a color of colors.red, let's say, and let me go to main.dart, and let's see how it is looking. So here you can see that this is day 19 part. So we had covered this UI. Now let me return day 20 in my main.dart, and yes, okay. Let me just import day 20 and let's save it. Perfect. So it is looking something like this. Okay. So let's just go to day 20, and the color of my app bar is going to be background color colors dot white, sorry, colors dot white. Let me just save it. Perfect. And in this app bar, I'm going to return a title with a simple text, and to the text let's vanda.s. Perfect. Vanda.s, and let's give it some styling. Let's give it some boldness only. Font weight, the font weight dot bold. Save it. And okay, so we are using a different theme. So let me just go to main.dart, and the theme I'm using is light theme. Okay, perfect. For the okay, so let's go to day 20 and let's define a color. Color will be colors dot black, and if I just save it, okay, so it is looking something like this. So let me just give it a font size 20. Let's give it 24. Perfect. And there is one more parameter called center title that is there in app bar only, and I'm going to make it false. Now let's save it. Perfect. So you can put a leading icon also. So let me just show you. So in the app bar you have to write leading, and you can put an icon, and let's put icons dot arrow back iOS. Okay, just save it. Okay, let's give it some color. So color will be colors dot black. Save it. Perfect. Nice. So this app bar thing is covered. Now we are going to divide the complete screen into 1, 2, let's keep it 3 and 4 parts. Okay, so we are going to do some changes over here because I don't think it is looking beautiful, but this part and the last part will be same. So let's divide into 4 parts. So first part, according to me, it should be around 150 to 200 height. So let's do it. So there is my container, and instead of returning color, let me just return a child, and inside the child I'm going to return a column. So let's return some children, and in the children I'm again going to return a container with a height of 200. Let's return a color, colors dot red, and after this container again I'm going to return one more container. So let's paste it, and this container will be of something height around 100. So 100, and the next thing, let's keep it 100 only, and the last part I'll keep it expanded. Okay, so let's put one more container, and the last part will be expanded container. Why expanded? Because I want to allow it to have the almost rest of the space, right? So whatever space is covered by these 3 containers is okay, but rest of the space should be given to this container. So the complete rest of the space will be given to the last container. So let me just make it blue, and let me just make it green, and the last one, let's give it a color of yellow, colors dot yellow. Save it. Perfect. So you can see how I have divided my space. So it is looking perfect. Nice. So now let's try to draw the first container. So instead of returning color of colors dot red, let me just return a simple row. You can see this is a row, and inside this row we are going to draw these 2 containers. So let me just so if I just show you some clear cut idea, so this is the first part of that row, and this is the second part of the row, and I am talking about this complete row, and this complete row we have to fit in this red area, right? So let's try to do it. So in this first container I'm going to return a child, and let's return a row, and to this row I'm going to return a children, and to this children I'm going to return first container, and to this container let's keep a width of around 170, and a second container I'm going to keep it expanded. That means the rest of the space is given to this expanded part, and let's give it some color so that you can see. So color will be colors dot purple, and let's give this container color. So color will be colors dot orange dot orange. Let me just save it. Perfect. Now in this container I'm going to return a column. So child column. So why a column? Because you can see that in this I'm talking about this container, we are having a column because we are having a circle avatar, then 2 text in the vertical order. So that's why column, then children, and to this children the first part will be circle avatar, and the second part will be a text, and the name is Vanda S dot, and let's give it some styling, style text style. Then we can give it font size of, let's say, 18, and font weight of, let's say, font weight dot w 700. If I just save it, you can see that circle avatar is a little small, so I can give it radius of, let's say, 60. Let me just save it. Okay, looks perfect. And then the next is again a simple text, and in this text we are having photographer slash New York. So we will write photographer slash New York, and the font size we can give it around 14. Font weight I'll remove. Let me just save it. Perfect. Then what we can do is I can give column as main axis alignment dot center, then cross axis alignment dot start, and if I just save it, that is perfect. And the thing that is not looking good is that okay, I think that is same only, and I can just remove the boldness of this Vanda S, and I can increase its font size a little bit. So let me just make it the font size as 20. Looks good. And I can give this container some padding. Padding will be edge insets dot all, let's say 10. Okay, so it is getting shifted. That's totally fine because we don't know what will be the width of this text. But for now, to let it look similar, what I'm going to do is let me just increase the width. Perfect. And I can remove the purple color now because that is ready. And what I can do is I can just go and get a sample image so that I can just pick it from day 19 also. So let's pick this image. No, that is a background image. Let's put the image of a person that I used last time. Yes, this is the only image. Control C, control, let's put background image as network image, and let's put the URL. Save it. Perfect. And let me just close this thing, and let's make view as word wrap. Perfect. Now I can give a simple sized box of height 5 to get some space between it. Perfect. Now let's remove the red color also. So color red, and let's create the orange part now. So that is there in this expanded thing, colors.orange. Let's remove the color, and instead of the color we have to draw again a column. So let's draw child column children. Then in this children we are having one container, two containers we are having. So let's draw one container and the another container, and the first container we are having a row. So let's draw a row, sorry, child row, then children, and inside this children we are having column, first column, and I'll be just copying this column again and again. So this column is having two text. So let's put the first text children, then text, and the first text is nothing but 150. Let's keep the style as text style, text style of font size as 20, and the second text is again, let me just copy this thing, let me just paste it, and 150 is post. Okay, posts. Font size is nothing but very low, so let's keep it 14. Let me just save it. Okay, so it is looking something like this. I can just increase the font size to 24. That looks good. Okay, so now what I can do is I can just copy this column, Control C, and I can paste it 3 times or 2 times. Yes, and I can save it. And now what I can do is 150. And one more thing, let's be smarter and let's create a simple widget over here, and this widget will return me this part. So let's call it widget post or profile details, and it is going to take two text, so string text1 and text2, and it is going to return me this column. Control C, Control B, and this will be my text1 and this will be my text2. Okay, now what I can do is instead of writing this column, I'm going to call that profile details. Text1 will be 100 and following, 100 following. The second one will be again the same thing. Let's remove this column and paste this profile details over here. 5k followers, 5k followers, and the next thing will be again this thing, and it is 150 post. Save it. Perfect. Now I can just write a text, a simple sized box of width around 5, or let's say we can keep it 10 also, and this thing, let's paste it over here, save it. Perfect. Now it is looking good. Or what we can do is I can also write main axis alignment dot space evenly. Perfect. Amazing. Now what I can do is after this we are having this follow button, right? So this is my expanded, then I have a column, so we have children container. This is the container in which I have to draw the follow button. So child row, inside this we are having children. The first thing we are having is the elevated button, and on press let's keep it empty. Child will be simple text of follow, and let me just save it. Okay, it is looking something like this. Now what I have to do is let's wrap this elevated button with a container. Let's give it some height, so I'm going to keep the height as 50. Perfect. Then width as double dot infinity. Okay, sorry, not double dot infinity. Let's keep the width as expanded. So in this row we can cover this container with a widget called expanded. If I just save it, amazing. Now again, after this container, after this expanded, we are having one more container, and that is a circular kind of button. So let's try to create it and let's see how it looks. Simple container of height of, let's say, same thing, and width of same thing, not 50. Let me just make it 30, and let's give it a colors dot white, and let's give it some decoration, box decoration. And if we are defining box decoration, then color will be inside box decoration, and shape will be box shape dot circle. Okay, let's give the width also as 50. Perfect. Then I can keep a sized box between them, width as 10. Okay, Then inside this box extension I can define border dot all, color will be colors dot blue. Save it. Okay, perfectly fine. Then I can define width also. Width, let's say 5, not 5, let's say 2. Okay, then let's give it a child. So let's give this container a child of icon as icons dot arrow downward. Not this arrow, let's use iOS arrow iOS downward. Is there anything like that? No. So let's keep the same arrow only for now. You can just search it and you can keep your own arrow, right? And this arrow is also blue color, so color will be colors dot blue. And I can again define a sized box of width 10 after this thing. Perfect. And I can define a sized box of height 10 after that. So you can see how it is managing. Now you can see that this complete row is not centered. So what I can do is row, this is my main row, I think. Not this one, the main row I'm searching for. Yes, this one only. And I can keep it cross axis alignment dot center. Okay, I don't have to work on this row. I have to work on the second part of that container, of that row. So this is my first container, this is my expanded one, then inside this I'm having column. Okay, so my main axis alignment will be dot center. Okay, but it has shifted to here. So what I can do is I want to keep it from start only, so I'll keep it from start. Let's save it, but I'll give it what we can say, I can give a sized box over here from the start. Yes, I can do that. So sized box of height, let's say 10. So to have a space from the top part, so let's give it a height of 20 now. Perfect, now it is looking perfect. And now I can change the color of this button. So let's do it. Where is my elevated button? Yes, over here. And to this I can give it color, sorry, I think it is style, then button style, then we have background color, then material state property dot all, colors dot blue. Perfect. So our first part is ready, right? Now let's try to make this second part. So now we have to work on this container, which is of color blue, and inside it I'm going to give it child list view dot builder, let's say, and to this I'm going to keep it item count as, let's say, 10, and I'm going to draw an item builder, so which takes a context and an index, and I can return container, or we can return circle avatars also, but let's return container, and let's give them decoration, box decoration, and let's give them shape as box shape dot circle, and we have to give them certain height. So let's give them the height of 80 and width of also 80. And if I just save it, Okay, and let me just remove this color blue, and let's see if there is any error. No, there is no error. And I can give them some color as colors dot orange for now. Okay, so it is in vertical direction. So let's do one thing, scroll direction we are having, and let's make it axis dot horizontal. Perfect. And I can give it some margin, edge insets dot all, let's say 5. Perfect. Amazing, right? Now what I can do is I can just wrap this container with a column, and after this container I can give a simple text, and I can write it title. Okay, so what I can do is I can increase the height of this thing. Perfect. Amazing. You can see, you can also scroll it, and it's totally up to you how you want to manage the data inside it, because this data will be coming, if you're working on a real social media application, then the data like image of this part, then title will be coming from the database. So I'm not going inside that. My main focus is to teach you to clone the UIs, right? So what we can do is I can just give it a decoration image so that it looks good. Image, then decoration image, and I can give it network image, and I can copy the same URL which we used above. So let's copy this, and let's go to, and let's paste it over here, save it. And we can do one more thing, we can write fit box fit dot cover, or contain, not contain, we have to make it cover. Perfect. Now the second part is almost ready too, and so my main focus was to just show you the list views, right? So this is totally up to you, right? If you want to add a new highlight, then you can make a plus icon for the first index, right? And if you, and all this data is going to come from the database, right? So that we will be building in some other part. And now let's try to focus on this third part, and you can see that there is simple row email, site and phone, so that you can draw. And if you are familiar with tab view, and if you are not familiar with tab view, you can watch my tab view video, so you can do it. I think we should start moving to this grid view, and we should wrap this video because this video is becoming a little longer. And you have learned a lot of things in this video, right? You have this is the main part of drawing an Instagram profile page, and that you know how to draw now, right? So let's go to this, directly go to that grid view. So let me just remove the middle container, and let me just comment it out, and over here I can just write child grid view dot builder. Perfect. Grid delegate will be sliver grid delegate with fixed cross axis count. So which means that our cross axis count, that means the count in the horizontal direction is going to remain constant, and I'm going to keep it 4. And item builder again takes a context, takes an index, and we will be returning container, and these containers will be of equal height and equal width. So height, let's say of 100, and width also 100. I think 100 is a little less. Let's see what happens. And I can return color as colors dot red for now, and let me just save it. Okay, it is looking something like this. Container, let's give it margin, edge insets dot all 5. Okay, so let's increase their height as 150, width as 150, and what we can do is we can, yeah, that's okay. So let me just remove that yellow color, and let me just make them rounded. So box decoration, yeah, border radius dot circular, let's give it 10, and we have to remove this color also. And now it is not visible because I have removed the color. So let me just show you color as colors dot gray dot shade 200. So you can see that these containers are visible now. So now what I can do is I can just remove the cross axis count as 3 because that looks good. Yes, now it is looking good. Now what I can do is I can again copy this URL. I know that this will not look good, but let's see what happens. I'm waiting for the result. So let's copy this decoration image only, and to this border box decoration I can write image and paste it, and I can save it, and you will be seeing these images a lot of times now. Perfect. You can see how it is looking, right? I hope you like this design. So but now I am not liking this design. Let's change the image and let's see how it looks. So this is how it looks after changing the image. So my main focus was to teach you to draw a widget tree, right? So that you can clone any kind of UI by your own. So in the next coming parts, we will be creating the splash screens, Flutter icons, not the Flutter icons, the logos of your apps, so that you can change your app logos if you are making your app for publishing. Then we will be seeing bundle IDs, how you can rename your bundle IDs if you are going for publishing your app on Play Store, right? So the coming two videos will be covering these two simple parts, and the next from part 23 we will be working with Firebase. I hope you like this. I hope you are liking this series and you will be liking the coming videos also. So till the next content, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.